What's up, Squid Bois? Today I want to talk about Ivan. Now, we knew a bomber unit was coming for a while, and he just got released. And no, I do not have Ivan. But a few months ago, I sent out a poll, and 84% of you said I should give my thoughts on a new hero, even if I have not gotten that hero. Now, this video will be split up in two parts. One talking about Ivan, and the latter will be about the new hero's user interface and leveling system. But first, Ivan. Now, one thing that's interesting at first glance is Ivan is down here. The more legendary heroes are up here. Hank, my boy, is down at the bottom, which makes me think most people will be getting Ivan through operations more than a hero like Tatiana, which I got, and we'll talk about that. Now, Ivan comes out at day 10, which is very early. I don't know how I feel about that, but honestly, that's the only thing I'm actually worried about with Ivan, because his skills are very straightforward. You have increased bomber damage, and you have increased bomber health. And honestly, the bombers needed more damage and more health. Looking at his max level 10, it's a 20% attack boost and a 50% hit point boost. That doesn't seem too bad to me. Bombers are very squishy, and Ivan's going to help that. What's going to make Ivan even more useful in the beginning, when you get your first bomber out, is that Ivan himself has 80 hit points. So while you get your bomber, Ivan will be there to double the hit point of that first bomber, which is going to help increase your bomber's longevity. Next, we have damage. Now, the damage is cut in half, which is good. A normal bomber attack is 30, and everything else is also cut in half, which means that even though Ivan will come out at day 10, who knows how long he takes to mobilize. Hopefully it's a while, and maybe you need an airdrome. You have to at least build an airdrome right here. That this attack damage is going to be pretty minor in the beginning. Now, I always think heroes like Toho, for example, should come out a few days later. Toho shouldn't come out at day 12. That's too early. Toho should come out at like day 15. More Navy units can be out in the field to stop him from sniping your seaside capital. But with Ivan, I don't think it's going to be as bad. He'll be the second biggest early game hero threat, but he'll be stuck at airdromes, and his attack is halved. What do you have to do to combat Ivan in the early game? Well, you need heroes that can block him. Orhan, right? Orhan, you go down here. With Orhan, we have a defense of 10. That's great. That will really hurt Ivan. Next, you have Joseph. Joseph has an air defense of 12 and a massive amount of hit points. And for early game units, you have everyone's favorite, the armored car. If we click the armored car, the air defense is 8. That's pretty good. And my favorite, the balloon, which has an air defense of 8. She'll need to be utilizing those early game armored cars and balloons for air defense. Now let's talk about the new Heroes update. One, an array of user interface enhancements that I don't actually want to get into. Depending if you're on PC or mobile, obviously we all see this, it's different. It'll make it easier. The units aren't so big. Orhan and Tatiana are close to each other. It was very hard to click one or the other because they were too clunky, the unit cards. So that's great. But what I actually want to talk about is the new ranking system. Now, my interpretation of this and looking at it just now as it comes out is that instead of having the levels 1 through 5, 10 becomes the new level 5 for uncommon and rare units. Epic becomes the new level 5 for epic heroes. And level 20 becomes the new level 5 for legendary heroes. So whatever skills you got at level 5 before, this is where you're at now to get those same skills and attributes, which I actually don't have a problem with that. Now, for me, when I woke up this morning, I actually got Tatiana. And the reason is we had an operation, and I was a little more than halfway to getting her and moved me up to 2. Assuming because she's legendary, they multiplied the cards I had by 4. But I got her when I didn't have her, which is kind of nice. Orhan also leveled up. But by clicking a unit like Hank, you could see the units and the nice new user interface, which will make things more easier. But all they did is instead of 1 to 5, they stretched it out, right? And they just added a little bit more numbers here, just so whenever you level, you're actually getting a bonus. So what does that mean? I'm predicting that it's going to be easier to get heroes, and you're going to get that dopamine rush of hitting that promote button more times and actually getting improvements along the way. But people are going to get the first hero much quicker, which is great because it's better to have Tatiana at level 1 than not have Tatiana at all. This will be a way of everyone getting the heroes. It's just the magnitude of their level will be different depending on the player. And I actually don't have a problem with this at all. And yeah, if something changes, I'll pin it to the comment section. Vitro, if you're listening, please change Toho's day to come out later. Thank you. And I'll talk to Squid Bois later.